illusion that the modern medicine can solve all problems in the healthcare. And what we are seeing that there are certain limitations.
There is a kind of medical power that as soon as you discover you have a disease, it's organized as an enterprise. Your body becomes a number. You become a number who has a disease.
What can be the role of a disease in the life of a person? It depends how the person approaches the disease.
Our wish is to enlighten people that the journey to the inner world has to be more than the outer world. Ultimately, the greatness of India is everything, all the great sciences, which are 64. 64 sciences and arts are there in India, and Ayurveda is only one among them. And the Ayurveda that you see today is only a chip of the big block. It's an ocean.
Actually, Ayurveda, the approach itself is physical, mental, spiritual, everything is coming there actually. And within the nature actually. It should be according to the nature's rhythm actually.
Ayurveda is a science of life or a knowledge of life, we can say like that. It is whatever our ancient seers observed. Preserving the nature and be with the nature. That is I think all about.
Ayurveda principles are applicable for everywhere. It talks about kala, time. It talks about desha. It's a place. So you have to adapt the principles according to the time and place. Mm-hmm. The principles are same. See, when in winter you automatically wear a sweater, a woolen cloth. Mm-hmm. Your body and mind synchronizes, and then you do that.
Actually, here we are getting patients from more than 50 countries actually. Most of them are coming for chronic ailments after going to all other systems, as a final hope. Most of the patients are coming here after going to all other system, and in a sense, where other system of medicines are getting an end, there Ayurveda is starting actually.
Ayurveda has the holistic approach. It has the holistic approach when a simple fraction or a faculty or a factor of the body is impaired, a disease can occur throughout the body. The magnitude of the disease is very bigger, even though the causative factor may be very simple. This holism is very important in Ayurvedic context.
A disease is a separation between you and you, between your right, your soul, anyone can use the name or you want, and your mental. Okay, so it's a separation.
What is becoming clearer and clearer in these recent years is that the disease can become an opportunity to grow as a person, to develop new strengths, to find new opportunities to build skills, to build competences, to develop relationships with other people, to discover the meaning of life. to find some benefit. It seems absurd to say this, but recent studies, also conducted in children with cancer, show that even children with cancer are able to find benefit in their condition.
It is not something catastrophic. It is something which means something and can learn you something. And the way the doctors here behave are in this sense, in an holistic, and also respect the time necessary to everybody to hear what the disease means.
This shows that human beings have in themselves the resources to cope with adverse situations since their early age.
Healing a disease is a reconciliation. And in this place, in India, they have a knowledge that we don't have outside. Why? We don't know. We don't know. But they have a knowledge that we don't have. So, you just have to trust people who say to you, go there and you will find, maybe you will find your solution, which is not mine, it's your solution, and try that.
Ayurveda talks of cross treatment, which is body treatment, oil application, medication. There's something called philosophical treatment, and there's something called spiritual treatment. So spiritual is something to do with the sun and the moon and the planets. Philosophical is to advise you that your own, latest, I don't know if you've seen, John Hopkins Hospital in America, one of the world's best hospitals. A professor, eminent professor, has said cancer is due to bad luck. In India, we say because of your karma.
There is a group of diseases called as Karmaja Vyadhi. It is coming because of your karmas, your action, physical, mental, and and even by talking. So some diseases are coming because of your karmas actually.
Thanks your disease. Your disease is giving a big opportunity to evolve, to become another person. So the first thing, you don't have to fight your disease. You have to just say, okay, you are here. What I have to learn? What do you want to teach me?
Used to grow it in our houses, but now people are more attracted by allopathy treatment, so that practice is being lost. This again is a small tree, the leaf of which that looks quite normal now, but if you put this leaf in coconut oil and place it in sunlight, within 2 or 3 days the oil will become purple in color. There is a pigment actually inside. So the plant is named Wrightia tinctoria, and that oil, colored oil, is almost specific for psoriasis. Herbal medicines are more suitable to the body because human body is familiar with the plants, plant producers, Almost every day we are consuming plant producers, plant matter in various forms. So the body has an affinity, familiarity with the plants. In olden days, physicians used to prepare medicines for individual patients, not for the mass, not for the general public, only for a particular individual, particular patient. Why? Because the body chemistry of two individuals will not be similar. Even the children of the same parents will not be alike in their physiology.
Because there is a particular way of doing a dhara, shiro dhara for the head with plain water. Where the schizophrenia, the paitika unmadam, according to Ayurveda, this paitika unmadam is treating just by shiro dhara. The water from the well is taken without disturbing much, taken and kept in an earthen pot and kept under a mango tree overnight, and in the early morning that water is taken and doing the Shirodhara, and that Shirodhara for 14 days from Prathama, Dvidiya, the first day of lunar month, then the second day, third day, like that. In the 14th day, then the Paurnami day, the full moon day, up to that the Shirodhara is done only with the plain water and the disease is cured. And I used to ask the people, the Ayurvedic people, what should be important? The earthen pot should be important? Or the water should be? Or the moon should be important? Or the well should be important from India to? No, it is a concept that should be important. The water is important because the water has, if you know the holistic concept of water, if you know the holistic concept of schizophrenia, if you know the holistic principle of the moon, if you know the holistic principle of the mango tree, you can apply that because the concept and philosophy is active.
I am not only getting benefited from this by treating the patients, I am also benefited a lot by my spiritual practice, I can say. We can't separate the Ayurveda and spirituality because the first sloga says, Ayu kamayamanena dharmartha sugha sadhanam Ayurvedobadesheshu vidheya paramadara. That means we have to give respect to Ayurveda, which helps to get the the realization, because Ayurveda helps our body and mind be healthy to reach that goal.
You cannot have a rapid solution for one thing, but you have to understand that the time you cook your disease was very long. For example, for the cancer, we know that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. So you have to clean all this time, and so you need time to do that.
In Ayurveda, any outcome takes time, so you cannot guarantee any, quick solution of the problem. But the patient is informed since the beginning. It will take time, and Ayurveda needs the active collaboration of the patient, which is not true in allopathy. The patient sometimes just needs to take tablets. while in Ayurveda the patient needs to do something himself, to be in control of the situation, to be able to comply maybe with some medicaments and some specific physical treatments.
The concept that with chemical substances we can treat everything is wrong. And we realized that lifestyle, proper diet, stress management like yoga is something valuable. And then we should also realize that there are traditional knowledge in many societies which already has a lot of solutions.
If there is a miracle, you have to do your miracle inside of you. Nothing outside can help you, just you can say, okay, I understand why I am here. That is my story. I need to change my story because my story put me in this disease. So I don't want this disease anymore. So I have to clean my body, but I have to clean my mind, and I have also to clean my life. And it takes time.
The value of time is completely different because we are out of time here, and it learns us not to be here in a hurry about what is going on about our body. Our body needs some time, different for everybody, of course, to be regenerated, to lose this cow which make happen the disease.
Ayurveda is not merely a system for treating diseases. Primarily, it is a healthcare regime recommending how you must live, how you have to control your routine to keep up the general health of the body, to build up the natural immunity of the body. The best medicine available is our own immunity. Nothing will come near it. So Ayurveda is recommending to live a healthy life.
Modern medicine, you take one drug and then you test it for a particular disease across a large number of patients, and you expect all of them to respond in the same way to the medicine and the disease. So this is because modern medicine works on generalizations like this. It's not a patient who is sick, but a disease that has affected a patient. See, both are two different things. When a patient becomes sick, the focus is on the patient. When a patient gets affected by a disease, your focus is on the disease. So in Ayurveda, we look at the patient who is sick. In modern medicine, you look at the disease that has affected the patient.
This kind of relationship between doctor and patient got disrupted with this, let's say, consumistic approach to medicine, and this creates the problem, so that the patient doesn't feel to trust the doctor 100%.
To choose, not to let the doctor choose in your place, you know. You are going to have an operation, chemotherapy, radiotherapy. I refuse the three things. I said, I want to listen myself. And so I know that it is not the way I want to deal with the disease. Because in hospital, they are always in urgency and obsessed by the operation to take off the things.
I think one problem of allopathy, it is going so far from the real daily, from also the real body of the people, because it relies more and more on very sophisticated technological instruments to look into the body, but then in this way we lose the observation of the body, which is the core.
But today, sad that medicine is being used as a tool for exploitation. Do you need this many gadgets to test it? For everything they need to pay. Whereas in Ayurveda, if you can master it, I just feel your pulse, I see your nails, I see your eyelids, I see your lips, and we can easily say this is your problem.
There are signals of imbalance in the body, very early signals, and the good doctor should be able to identify these signals in order not to the manifest disease to develop.
If you ask about scientific proof and its importance in getting Ayurveda recognized in the West, I think we have to look at the problem in two ways. One is the question of proving that Ayurveda works, and the second thing is, how and why it works. So there are two aspects to this question. So I would say it's much more challenging to answer the second question, the how and why, because Ayurveda is based on a different theory and understanding of the human body. But it's not as challenging or difficult to show that Ayurveda really works. So what I mean to say is that everything has to begin at the clinical level. And I think clinical research is the starting point for entering into the world of Ayurveda in terms of research. I say this because in modern science it's just the opposite. You begin from the lab and then come to the clinic. So you prove things in the laboratory and then you apply it in human beings. In Ayurveda, it's going to be the other way around. So we call this also as reverse pharmacology. It's just the opposite flow of what happens in Western medicine.
The problem comes when we start to translate those medical knowledge, this medical knowledge, into the language of the Western medicine.
Trials are not well designed, and they're not rigorous, and if they are well designed, then it doesn't really show that Ayurveda works. So they concluded by saying there's no evidence to show that Ayurveda works. So this, you can realize, is because of the bad design, lack of understanding of Ayurveda. What we believe is we need a proof of concept that Ayurveda works. That's a starting point. And till now, although clinical practice was successful, we couldn't bring it to the research level because of methodological challenges. Invariably the wrong methods were used. So you would find this paradox. So it's working in the clinic, but when you bring it to research, it doesn't seem to be working.
It is not the explanation that is important, it is the experience is important, not the explanation. Mm-hmm. Every science is explaining, the logical reasoning they are explaining, but nobody is experiencing the true thing.
This is the challenge, this whole process, the journey from the 1970s to 2012, at least 4 decades. It's the journey of Ayurvedic research itself, which we experience here. The methodological challenges, how to bring science and Ayurveda together. Where are the bottlenecks and how do we surmount them?
So creating an awareness among the people there that there is a system. And we are very keen, it should not be a monopoly of India. Our idea is not to get more patients for neither this institution nor for Indians alone. Many poor people cannot afford to travel. So it should become a national medicine of every country.
I used to tell that the medicine which are growing there in your place is the best medicine for you if you know the philosophy of that medicine. Because sometimes the medicine, the food which you are taking there is the perfect food for you because you are born and brought up with that food. So when I am talking that the food from the Ayurvedic is you don't take this one, don't take that one, that is not good for your health at present because you are born and brought up, your mother is born and brought up in that condition. The sunlight is there, the water from that place you are taking, the food you are taking from that place, the food which is growing from that, even though the paddy and the wheat and everything growing from that. So that is good for your health. Even in Charaka Samhita, it is accepted that the medicine also should be from your own places.
O que os índios brasileiros fazem é Ayurveda. Eles prestaram atenção na natureza, observar os elementos na natureza, observar o vento, observar o sol, observar a terra. E viram, essa planta ela é mais quente, então ela está ligada ao fogo. Lógico que eles vão dar outros nomes do que se usa aqui na Índia. Ok, não tem problema. Mas o conceito é igual. Então se a gente entende o conceito, a gente aplica isso em qualquer lugar.
Another way to live in our world in crisis, because we have a lot of things to learn of the ancient traditions, you know, because they are very linked of what being a human being is.
And we need to have a dialogue with mainstream science. And if we succeed, then I think we can take Ayurveda forward globally. If we get the evidence, and then it might get eventually recognized as a credible system.
We need a close global collaboration of scholars and scientists which share the same view on the future of medicine, which is integration of the traditional 1,000 years old knowledge with the precise, exact language of the modern science.
Porque cuando la Ayurveda se empieza a conocer, los resultados son superiores a los de la medicina alopática y mucho más económicos. Así que, ¿qué puede ser lo que nos corte el proceso? No lo sé. Pero todo está dado para que la Ayurveda se desarrolle plenamente.
At the same time, modern Western medicine has a lot to do. We should be able to work hand in glove. And now, thanks, many Western doctors of Western medical system have started acknowledging that Ayurveda has a big role to play in the future.